Oh boy, do I have a video for you today. So right now, my OpenClaw is scanning live 1 billion web pages, PDFs, competitors, news articles, every single trending topic, and it basically costs you zero to set it up. So check this out, right? Right now, inside of my mission control, you can see that it is scanning so many documents. And I'm gonna basically show you how to set it up for yourself as well. All right, so let's just quickly mention a little bit who I am. So I'm Kevin Jeppesen. I run the Operator Vault, which you can see here, which is my school community, where I teach founders how to build AI automations with Claude Code and also OpenClaw. We got a few courses on OpenClaw, and here is me being mysterious, and here is me being goofy. Here is my agency website, and here's my other agency website where we focus on AI ranking. Here's a thumbnail that never got used. Right now, the stats on my YouTube channel. All right, let's jump into what we're gonna talk about today, right? So in this video, I'm gonna show you what Firehose is, which is a new SaaS company, you could say, that Ahrefs, which is a huge company within the SEO space, just launched a few days ago. And right now, it is completely free to use. I'm gonna show you how to connect it to your OpenClaw, and also you can do the same for Claude Code in under 10 minutes. And I'm gonna show you 4 ways that you can use this to create automations or workflows that are gonna change how you think about knowledge-based building and basically staying ahead of all of your competitors in real time, right? So you're gonna be able to track competitors, you're gonna be able to generate leads, and stay ahead of trends, basically. And the last workflow that I have for you in this video is freaking amazing, right? You're gonna feel like Elon Musk here giving you I'm gonna give you the sauce, basically, as the kids would say it. But yeah, you're gonna be like a little magical wizard, big brain time. So yeah. So as I mentioned, the tool that we're gonna use is called Firehose, which basically is a radar for the entire internet, where you have like 700 plus content categories that you can check. You have 110 different page types that you can scrape, 40 languages that you can go through. And as said, like right now, the entire thing is free. You just take the API, connect it to your OpenClaw, and you'll get a stream of data live, like a live stream. And like, look, there is no other solution that sets it up as easily as Firehose does right now. And this is not a paid promotion. They don't even have an affiliate program. This is really important that you jump on this now, because you're going to be able to create some incredible automations with this if you actually get this unlock for yourself, right? So I am already using this right now. I used it to build my automation factory, which is a system that basically automatically discovers automation ideas from across the internet. And Firehose is one of the 6 channels that we use to monitor the internet for that. So I know that for now, you might be thinking that this might sound a little bit too technical or something like that. It's not, right? It's very, very simple to set up. And I'm going to show you exactly how in the next thing that we jump to here. Like, your OpenClaw is going to handle all the technical parts, and you just tell it what you want it to watch for. So let me show you now how to actually set this up. And guys, it is amazing, right? It takes you about 5 minutes. That's it. By the way, here is basically all of the skills that I've been managing to build out. And these are not like, build me a skill for this. Like, I'm scraping thousands of pages to get context for my skills that I'm going to be sharing with the school community. And part of that power was by using Firehose to get all of the data for different types of automations that are within my niches and my use cases that I'm going to be sharing to the community, of course. But I'm going to make videos about these as well. It's a great way to get video ideas, basically. Okay, so without further ado, let's jump into how you can set this up for your OpenClaw. We're going to do a live demo as well. Note that everything that we do here, you can do with Claude Code as well. So 5 minutes, 3 prompts. And what you're going to do is you're going to go to firehose.com, you sign up, and you can see here right now, this is basically all the pages that it's getting for me live that are getting published right now. Same happening here inside of my mission control. And so you go to Firehose, you sign up, and then what you're going to do is you're going to click on management keys. And as you can see, I have a few different keys here. So we're going to create one, a test video, and I'm probably not going to do this actually. I'm just going to click create, copy over the key that you are getting. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go into your Discord and you're basically now going to say, hey, I want you to set up a Firehose for me. Here is my API key. Now, keep in mind, if you have people on your server or inside of your Telegram, outside access, don't do it like this. You can just go into your hostinger, go into your project catalog. If you're doing this on VPS, go into manage, and then you're going to scroll down to environment. And then there you're going to be able to add your key. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can watch my free video, which goes over all of this. This video is more focused. That's my free course, basically. You can just jump ahead to that part. But I'm going to do it like this. I want to set up, and here's my API key. Just paste the API key. And then I want you to read the documentation for this and learn everything there is to learn. Okay, and then go back into Firehose here. Click on API docs. Cannot be reached right now. I'm guessing they have there we go. Then you can click on this little button here, copy for LLM, copy that, and then you can go back into your Discord or Telegram, paste that file, and then have it use that. You can additionally take the whole link to the actual documentation, send that to your OpenClaw, and then press enter. It's now going to run through, learn everything it needs about how Firehose works, the different features and calls, API calls it can make, so that it understands it basically, right? And now you set it up. And keep in mind, you can do this with Claude Code as well. So now you've set it up, you have your API key, it is completely free. You can get your API docs and do the LLM stuff, and yeah, you're good to go. Now you can basically tell it exactly what you want it to watch, right? You can monitor your keywords, you can summarize whatever page that's coming in, and so on and so forth. You can have this together with like Firecrawl, for example, to crawl the entire page additionally, and then have a Firehose send you the links, right? So we're going to jump into all of the different use cases that we have. And the amazing part is as well, like once you have this running, you never have to think about it again. OpenClaw is going to check on that stream and act on whatever it told you to do. Just make sure that you tell your OpenClaw to keep the learnings that you have done here so that it will actually remember what it's doing. And one more tip for you here is that whenever you create a knowledge file, have your soul or your claw.md file reference the file instead of adding it directly to the soul. This is going to save you a ton of tokens and also give your OpenClaw or your Claude a better way to find information fast by showing the path to that information. So this is going to save you a lot of tokens, a lot of costs as well. And another thing to mention here for Firehose is that like most people would, me included, I would pay like $200 a month for a tool that does half of this. So you just set it up for free within like 10 minutes, right? How awesome is that? So now that you have the stream running, right? What do you actually do with all of this data? And we're going to go through this now in the next part right here. All right, so let's jump into what can you actually do with all of these live signals, right? So the first use case that I have for you, and of course, I've only flowcharted it here. These things are going to get added to the actual school community, but you can feed this video to your OpenClaw or your Claude Code, and it's going to basically understand what to do with this, right? So first use case is content creation, right? This is where you're going to set up a rule for niche keywords, and then Firehose is going to catch every single new article, video, or discussion the moment it's published with those keywords inside of it. And then what OpenClaw does, it summarizes what's trending and then suggests video topics for you, blog angles, or social media posts, which basically means that you're never going to miss a trending topic again, which is going to allow you to basically piggyback on that trend as soon as it comes out, right? You have a few different YouTubers that are doing this very, very successfully. One of them is Julian Goldie, for example. He makes AI videos of himself talking about whatever trending topic. Even though it's AI slop, people are still watching it and he's getting millions of views just by covering these topics on autopilot, right? If you manage to write a blog article about a new trending topic, there's a chance that you can get featured in the news section and basically get like thousands of clicks from people looking at your website, which is going to do a bunch of good things for your domain overall. There's a whole different topic for SEO, right? You're going to be able to make like reels, for example. Like the use cases are so many, right? And when you have a stream like this where you can gauge how popular a topic is and how recent it is. And if the faster you can jump on that right now in the world of AI and everything, the better you're going to be off, right? Cool. So with that said, let's jump into the second use case here. This is where it gets interesting interesting for anyone that wants to watch and spy on their competitors, especially if you're running a SaaS company, a local service, or really anyone, a content creator or a solo founder. So this is the competitive intelligence loop that I made here. So basically what you do is you set rules for competitor domains and brand names, and then Firehose is going to catch every new page and every single piece of content change that your competitor is doing. And then OpenClaw is going to be able to operate on a cron job and alert you with a summary of what changed and then why that matters, for example. You can set your own kind of rules on what you think matters. And then you're going to be able to know exactly what your competitors are doing the same day to do it, which means, for instance, if you're publishing SEO posts, for example, you're now going to be able to take their posts, use your knowledge base, and then use complex reasoning with a bunch of other SEO rules to make a better article the moment they do it, right? I also have another really, really cool use case for anybody who's in SEO, for example, but the use cases are so many here, and obviously I cannot cover all of them, but we do make it a habit of posting whatever we want to have automated in the comments. And if you have any questions about what you would want to think a workflow would look like, just post it down below in the comment section and I'll get to that and kind of give you an idea, right? So I'm going to make a video for you specifically where I'm going to just talk to you about what I think the best way forward is for you. Okay. So, okay, look, these two automations and these workflows are useful, but the third one is the one that is going to stand out a lot for your outreach, which is pretty cool. So let's just have a look at John Cena here. Cool. So from signals to actual revenue, right? So lead gen and outreach. This one is awesome, right? So the third one basically changed a little bit how I think about lead generation. So whenever somebody publishes an article about something you're an expert on, for example, let's say that you want backlinks for your website, OpenClaw can catch that immediately with the help of Firehose, and it's going to draft you a personalized message referencing their article. And since you're going to be reaching out within hours, you can basically say, hey, I'm a big fan of everything that you do on your website. I've been following it for a T, and you just published a post that I would consider myself an expert in. And I would love to see if we could get it featured. What do we need to make this happen? Do you want money? Can I add something of value? Can I create an automation for you? Can I create you an article, right? There's a bunch of ways for you to get backlinks, but this is one of them, right? So this means that you're basically doing warm outreach on autopilot to some degree because you're so fast at actually reaching when they publish something. And right now is the moment to get on this because, in a few months, a lot of people are going to probably be able to abuse this. So make sure that you jump on it, find your unique angle and use it to the maximum degree, right? Maybe you might be thinking here that does this actually work at scale? And I would say yes here, because OpenClaw is going to filter out the noise that is coming through these pipelines as well. And you're going to be able to actively also create refinements for your filter of all the data that's coming in so that you're going to be able to filter out the stuff that you think is noise, right? So this is just one use case. Now, keep in mind, you could also use this, for example, let's say that a website is posting a job position, for example, for AI or content creation or social media management or whatever service you want to serve, right? You're going to be able to catch that immediately from all the different websites on the internet and basically draft them an outreach letter like saying, hey, I saw that you were looking for a social media manager. Now, I'm pretty big into AI automation, and I think that we could build a knowledge base and basically make your whole freaking project automated using AI. How cool is that, right? Now, obviously, there's a lot more that goes into creating this, but now you know, right? And now you can kind of think about this and get the brain unlocked and kind of see, how can I use this to my advantage? Which is exactly what we should be doing when we're talking AI. All right, so here's the last one. And this is the simplest, but honestly might be one of the most valuable ones as well, right? So news and trend monitoring. So what you can do here is you can basically set rules for industry keywords in whatever industry you are, right? So product launches, regulatory changes, funding announcements, and then Firehose is going to keyword match and catch those as they go live. And then OpenClaw sends you a daily briefing of all of these alerts, and then immediately you can have high priority signals. So let's say that you're part of the network, right? And you will always basically know what is happening the moment it's happening, right? This is a solid way for people to start building authority. And it doesn't really matter in what industry you are. If you can be the first to know something when it happens, now obviously the person who drops something is going to be the first, but if you can be the first, let's say a content creator that talks about trading or talks about whatever Trump did or talks about a new move in the Middle East, or let's talk about like crypto, if you can talk about AI, anything. If you can be the first mover with that information, which you now can with the news and trend monitoring, you're gonna be able to make a lot of cash and serious dough just by being the first mover on that. So I like to see this as when you're the first to know, you're gonna be the first to act. That compounding effect that you have on being the first mover always is going to be immense. And now I did reference Julian Goldie before, which if you might have seen it, you know it's AI. I'm not the biggest fan of that way of doing things. So if you're gonna do this, I would recommend you actually like thinking and being human and kind of covering that on your own, right? I think that is going to be the way for you to have longevity and to build a serious brand around you. But if you don't care about morals, if you don't care about being someone people can like look up to or look at and be like, this is great, then I would probably try to do it in this way instead. All right, so let's recover and let's just get the full picture here, right? So this is just one tap or one set of rules that you can have basically. Now imagine running all 4 of these at the same time, where you have content discovery, you have competitor monitoring, you have lead gen outreach, you have news alerts, all from one free tool that you can connect to your OpenClaw or your Cloud Code, right? All flowing through one OpenClaw instance. Like, look, if you were to paying for Mention, VisualPing, Google Alerts, or BrandWatch, like you would basically be paying 1.2K per month. Isn't that freaking insane, right? So right now, some people are basically going to keep paying this, or they have no idea what to do with all this. If you can be the first mover on all of this information that I've just given you, I'm hoping that I actually gave you some brain unlocks here. You're gonna be able to make some serious cash. And all you have to do is find your function, find the problem, fill that gap, use live research to find the companies experiencing that problem, and just reach out. You can do this in many, many different ways. And we're going to cover that inside of the school community as well. Now, what I call this framework is the signal tap, basically. So you tap into the live stream of the internet, filter it through OpenClaw, and then turn raw data into action, content, leads, intel, or whatever you need, right? So I put all the prompts and the rule templates from this video in the description below, so you can download them and plug them straight into your OpenClaw. All that I'm asking for this night, I'm not as generous as Nick Schreiber. I'm asking for your email. If you don't want to stay on the email list after, you can simply unsubscribe. That's totally fine. But if you want to stay up to date and get some few updates, a few automations here and there, then yeah, stay on the list. Now, if you want to have step-by-step walkthroughs on automations like this, that's basically exactly what we're doing inside of Operator Vault community right now, where we're basically shipping new automations every single week. In the pipeline that I have now in terms of automations, I have basically cold email personalizer, content repurposer, ICP builder, which is going to be a fantastic one that you're going to be able to implement at the start of every single, basically before you even start a project, right? Because you want to talk to your customers. Social proof collector, workflow automator, we got newsletter curator, we got SEO content briefs and everything. And these are good. Like, they're not the shallow ones that you find on GitHub, right? The SEO skills on GitHub are awful. Like, they're not even that good. So I'm basically taking all these, empowering them with so much context because, well, I can and I know how to. And yeah, I'm giving this away to people in the school community. So if you think that would be cool, let me know. I think that's basically it. Now, if you haven't already, subscribe, stay up to date with the next video. At the end of this video, I hope that you take this information, implement it into your OpenClaw or your Cloud Code, and have a real-time intelligence flowing into your products, right? The one thing that I want to say here, the next thing you need is going to be an agent that actually act on these signals automatically. And I'm going to show you how to do this in a video coming up next, so stay tuned for that. All right, guys, thank you very much for watching. It's been a pleasure, and I'll see you in the next one.